All right, let me get my glasses on, sorry. Okay, are we ready?
We are ready.
Okay, call the meeting to order. This is this on? Is that on?
Should be. Oh, it's green.
It's on the Wednesday, this is Wednesday, August 13th, 4:45 PM, it's actually 4:52 PM. The meeting of the Hammond DDD Board of Directors. Do we have a verification of meeting notice?
Yes.
24 hours in advance on the door and on the website.
At our office.
Okay.
Roll call.
Roll call.
John Ignatius, Mary Gito,
Here.
Todd DeLon,
Here.
Chance Kinchin, Kayla Morgan.
Does anyone need to amend the agenda?
Make a motion to move Article E under new business to the top of new business.
Second.
Okay. John Ignatius, Mary Gito,
Yes.
Todd DeLon,
Yes.
Chance Kinchin, Kayla Morgan. Okay.
All right, we've got the consent agenda, minutes from July 9th. Y'all want to review that? We've also got the financial statement. Do we need to do one? at a time?
Motions, yes, we will need two motions. Well, technically, we do have a June financial statement as well, but focus on the minutes for right now.
Okay.
On the minutes from the meeting, I make a motion to approve.
Second.
John Ignatius, Mary Gito,
Yes.
Todd DeLon,
Yes.
Chance Kinchin,
Yes.
Kayla Morgan.
Okay, we've also got so do we need to look at do we need to approve the financial statements one at a time?
Technically, no.
Okay, so we got the June and July financial statements.
Okay.
And we didn't have June before because we were waiting on some information, is that correct?
I think it just wasn't in the folder,
It wasn't in-
so
that's
we,
right, it wasn't
yeah.
in
Michelle, what do you have, please?
So June basically covers the end of our fiscal year. So when you look at the numbers that are reflected here, these are our actual end of year numbers. So, I mean, I'm not going to go through like and kind of compare anything, but you can see like what we budgeted in just in terms of tax revenue. We budgeted 330,000. We wind up getting 369,000. So usually when we get our estimate from the assessor, I take some off of that assessment just to stay a little bit conservative. But so as I had anticipated, their number was pretty accurate, actually. I think they gave us like 368 last time for this budget year. And so it seems that their estimate is actually coming back pretty accurately, but I still just kind of budget under just in case in the event that something were to happen. I did get a notification from the tax commission that the state is actually considering homestead exemption for commercial properties. Yes, and I'm assuming I received it because we're a taxing district, but there is a meeting in Baton Rouge, I believe on September 11th, for a public hearing on that change. I did intend on going because if there's a homestead exemption applied to commercial property, then that would have decreased revenue implications for us. And so I'd like to understand more about that. So that's just those are the things that come up that people think are boring, but are very important for us to keep in mind. So either way, basically I'm just summarizing that this is our end of year fiscal year 2025 actuals on this statement. So
Which one is that? The
June.
June. Okay. All right.
You mean? Yeah, we did have more revenue in certain areas than we projected. So if you could did they make a motion for the meeting
We
minutes?
did make a motion.
For
Yeah,
the
okay.
minutes, yeah.
We did for the minutes.
Okay,
not
just making
the
sure.
Financial statement.
So for the July statement, this is our first first month for this fiscal year 2026. So you'll see basically all of our roles cleared, and the new budget year has started. We have a lot of event revenue coming in right now with Hot August. Our property tax revenue really doesn't come in until January, February, March of the next calendar year, because that's when taxes are due and they're actually collecting. Nothing really out of the ordinary here.
Okay, I'd like to make a motion that we approve both the June and July financial statements.
I'll second that motion.
Okay. John Exnicius,
Yes.
Mary Quito,
Yes.
Todd Delon,
Yes.
Chance Kinchin,
Yes.
Caleb Morgan.
Did you have to put on record that I'm here, I guess?
Yeah,
We'll
I already-
note in the
I wrote it down
Okay, cool.
by the time you got it.
And we amended the agenda to move the item E, discussion to move the board meeting time, up to the item A on new business.
Okay.
But now, first we have to do reports before we get to.
Right,
Okay.
just saying, still.
Yeah.
later.
Okay. Reports. Director's report.
So just a few things here. I'm working with, at Mary and John's recommendation, Melissa Willis is a business coach and organizational mentor. I'm going to be working with her on about a weekly basis for some coaching, and really she's going to be helping us create a operations manual for the DDD, and basically just helping us document all of our policies and procedures. This has not ever existed really in one place for the organization. I mean, whenever I became the director, there's always things in different places. And so I'm really looking forward to doing this work and this process. And we do anticipate including the board in that when we get to a certain point, because there are certain HR policies or certain policies that we basically say that we follow from the city, and they are followed, but there's no real documentation of that. So basically everything from operations to personnel, human resources, board member expectations, job descriptions, all of those types of things that really give us strength internally, that will basically all be the end product of our work together. And we are looking at having that completed by the end of this calendar year. So we won't really start on it probably until after the Road Home event, because we're pretty busy up until then. But looking forward to that process.
So talk to me about how is she helping facilitate, as far as you're just going to be getting her the information. She's going to basically give you a plan to get this done? Because I mean, I know y'all get pulled into everything, and it's like, that's the challenge, right?
Well, one aspect of this that I informed her of is that basically in order for this to happen, we have to treat it like a project.
Right.
So, I mean,
So you'll put due dates with goals so you can try and meet them.
yeah, so basically our end deliverable date is the end of this calendar year,
Okay.
the end of December. But that also means that if there is an area within the policies and procedures related to HR or one area, we might be asking you all to help us do that process if we don't have the documentation already, or we need to do some research about best practices and those types of things.
Okay, gotcha.
So some good news with our Main Street program, the city applied for the Levy building, which houses the Hammond Regional Arts Center, for the $10,000 restoration grant, and they are a recipient of that. I got notification of that yesterday. So they'll be able to do that work, and it's very much in need. That's some good news. I did go to the council meeting last night, and the final ordinance revision to the topic of alcohol in parks has been settled, thankfully. So the revisions to the ordinance basically designates the downtown development district as the only area where the administration will now grant waivers for alcohol consumption in public parks.
The administration as opposed to the council.
Right, so it does change the approval process. So now, and I did seek clarification from the council and the administration last night. Basically, the waiver form that we fill out for our events, for our parking closures, street closures, those types of things, that will just be included in our request to the city for alcohol. So that,
Let me ask you a question, just by any chance, if the administration didn't approve something? City council actually has,
the organization may appeal the denial of the variance by the mayor to the council
go,
within
okay.
5 calendar days.
okay.
So we still have to go before the council for our open container waiver regardless. So I'm just in terms of modifying our process, what we will do is first ask the administration for approval. And then once we get their answer, then I would hope that we wouldn't, but in the event that we would have to add that onto the agenda, then we would be including that on the agenda while we're also asking for the open container waiver.
All beverages are banned in parks at all times unless there's a waiver from the mayor or from the city.
So that's how the existing ordinance was. What the change here is that they're only now granting waivers within the downtown development district.
So they're not granting any waivers in the parks outside of the.
Right, right. So this has been a journey since May, truthfully, and I was thankful to the council and the administration for finally reaching a resolution on this. Also the Art Center reached out and they were thankful for us, working with them, and because it not only affects us, it affects all the other event organizers that we have. So
Is the question, the 18 to 20-year-old in the bar, that was tabled or removed, and that's not been brought back up again, correct?
that's been withdrawn from the agenda. So that's basically until something else is added, it's not on the table for discussion. And just for the sake of time, I'll leave it at that.
I have a question. How much do we pay for the advertising on the Big Bad Boot? I've heard it. I've heard the advertisements on it. I'm just curious.
So we actually, we have only paid them we actually haven't paid them directly. We are collaborating with them on their Halloween event at the mezzanine, and we will be paying for the DJ that they'll have, which will be around $300 to $400. So in exchange for that sponsorship for that event, they gave us the ads, and then they are working with us on this video content piece. Yeah, so pretty affordable.
What is that? Can you explain to me, what is the ad exactly? How does that work? Because I'm really, is it just come across once whenever somebody watches that particular podcast,
They're
or?
talking
Listen.
about it, so when they're doing it's just on their podcast.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
so
on-
just on one segment, will be mentioned every time somebody listens to it.
It's-
They
Yeah.
might break off from say they're talking about a topic, and then they'll just break off and be like, oh.
And give an ad.
Yeah, we're on 3 episodes.
And then go on. It's basically a commercial, a verbal.
Okay.
A verbal, yeah, and they talk about it, and they're very passionate about it anyway, so it's
Okay.
nice, yeah.
It's on
It stays
3
with it as long as anybody ever clicks on
Correct.
that.
Anytime
it'll
somebody
all-
listens to it, they hear the ad.
Okay.
on 3 episodes, 3 different episodes.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're looking forward. We're going to be filming in a month for the day. It's going to be 2 video content pieces, so a day in downtown, a night in downtown. So we'll be working with their businesses.
It's going to be something kind of generalized that would go any time of the year as far as what they're pushing? Like, it's not going to be pushing a specific event?
Yeah, it's just going to be from, both
Go
of
to
them
the
being
market
locals,
or-
to
yeah,
to
yeah.
Hammond, like their personal favorites in downtown, like
Gotcha.
what they love.
The only other thing I would like to touch on
Uh-huh.
the report is the lighting improvements.
Okay.
Why is it so long?
So we don't have any money for lighting improvements right now. Tell me, what's your specific question?
I just like light bulbs.
Oh, well, so this is the process. Basically, if there's a broken light fixture in which the parking lot across from your restaurant, there are several. We submitted work orders for those to the city. Because those fixtures are no longer manufactured, they have to replace the actual Acorn fixture with a new LED. That's what those like smaller UFO-looking style fixtures are. So they replace all the Acorn ones with those. Them doing that is basically on a whenever they get around to it. And so with trying to get, and these fixtures are 20 years old, 25, almost 30 years old, I think. So in talking with Representative Muscarello and him wanting to make lighting improvements in downtown, this is basically something that he wants to help us on requesting from the legislature this upcoming legislative session. So us doing the work now to see how do we, like, what light fixture is it, which, you know, we know design-wise, the design committee is going to basically be in consulting with the city and the city engineer on selecting the fixture and making sure we get a right price to replace all of those old
I
fixtures.
just feel like it would be a priority, especially with
Yeah.
incoming freshmen coming in, and it's the heart of downtown.
Right.
You would want it to be as well lit.
You would think.
You
Yeah.
would think.
So with the striping in front of this post office in La Coretta, that
Yeah,
is
or
one way and
striping.
two-way.
You know, but
But
I just think lighting, because it's dark. And
Do you still have lights out?
Yeah, I mean, well, I mean, one comes on and one doesn't. I mean,
Right.
there's always areas. I'm just talking about the overall downtown Hammond
Yeah.
looking its best. Could it
Yes.
go through, you know, I mean, I move around and I go places and I mean, everybody's lights work.
I think that's, because those fixtures are discontinued, like she said, it's gonna be more of a long-term thing, because what they have to replace it with is terrible looking, but it works, but it looks like a UFO. So the design committee said we wanted input into what happens, because eventually those need to be replaced completely, not just the top
And then,
full fixture.
yeah, and the thing is that replacing the existing fixtures with the new fixture, because they're LED, they already are brighter style of fixture. But in talking with an engineer, I met with Representative Muscarello sometime in July, and you know, with new lighting and existing lighting, basically a study does need to be done to assess really what improvements need to be made. But it's like, I would hope that we could just say, we're focusing on lighting tomorrow, and like we get new fixtures in. But I was very sure to tell him that what's in our best interest is replacing all these old fixtures really before adding anything new, because even the cost of adding something new, I mean, you're looking at busting up concrete, adding electrical in places that are not existing. So if there are any posts that are out, just let me know, and we'll get with the city electrician to do that, and report them, because that's all we can do. Yeah,
For safety, yeah.
yeah.
For safety and to make us look like
And how are the Christmas lights holding up? It's been a while since I've walked in downtown with it being completely dark, I guess.
they're out of sight, out of mind at the moment.
Are they on at night?
There's some of them, but I'll have to like actually pay attention
Yeah.
to see which ones are which.
Just another thing. So the welcome sign is currently down. There was a part that went out on Saturday, and Ashley went ahead and put in a work order for it to a separate maintenance company. All the repairs will be, and the parts will be covered under the sign's warranty. And so it seems like it will be repaired pretty quickly by the beginning of next week. So just if you come into downtown and notice that's not on, that's why it's not on.
And where are we at on just management of that sign? Did you ever get a solution as far as when we need it versus the city and how that's going to be done? Did we come to
Not
clarity?
yet.
Okay, so that's still a process.
And still, yes.
Okay.
That's all for me.
Marketing, do we do that since she's not here, or do we not do her report?
Who?
Marketing committee?
Oh, we'll do staff. Yeah.
I'm sorry.
That's okay. I'll do mine quickly. I didn't type anything up because most of what we've been doing since our last meeting is hot August stuff, aside from just regular week-to-week things. The other thing that I did do was I attended the quarterly Main Street meeting in New Roads, and is it quarterly? Mm-hmm. Yeah. And we did they had representative from Main Street America, the larger umbrella of Main Street, and he came and did some training with everybody on talking with local legislators on funding and like discussing funding with them and stuff like that, and just made some connection with other directors of other Main Street programs from across the state. So it was good. That was just a 2-day thing. It was nice to see new roads, and other than that, we've just been hot August busy, so.
Tis the season.
As far as my report goes, it is the same old, same old. People love the weekend roundup. If you're looking at my report, I think it's something new I just started putting in there. It's pretty, I think, interesting. If you want to look at it on page 3, there's now an actual map of Louisiana, so you can see what the hubs are in the state that are being looked at. So I think that's honestly.
Is that a new thing from Squarespace? Mm-hmm. Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, they just started loading because they only used
Wait,
to
this is a
show-
what? What are you saying? I'm sorry.
On page 3, when you see the
Okay.
Louisiana map, they used to only show the United States, and it was a little, you couldn't really tell what was happening. So now they just started loading it with the state, and if you look at that, you can see which little hubs are actually viewing our website.
That's on Squarespace.
Now, this is, this is when we send out, this is just people coming to the site based on us, like, doing an ad or something, and it directs them?
No, this is just people
General
ju-
visitors.
like
General visitor.
organically visiting
Okay.
our website.
And 2,000 of those are me and Dara.
I'm not, 2,000 of those are actually just me.
Well, one thing I'd like to look at, because for Louisiana, it says 4,800, and the total views is 9,600.
Yeah, so.
I will say it's pretty evenly distributed across like Texas, Mississippi, like a lot of our southern sister states.
Should have the marketing committee look at it.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's kind of cool.
Now you would have to give Kayla's.
Yeah.
Any
That's
other
pretty much
things
it
there?
for my report.
Okay.
Everything is same old, same old.
Yeah. We do get some increased traffic with Hot August, because, you know.
Oh, next month is gonna look
Yeah.
very different.
Do they have, I wonder if this breakdown, do they have like Metairie or, like, because I see they have Slidell.
Yes, so Metairie is on there, but
this-
Metairie is much further down, so that's not the full list. I don't give y'all the full
Gotcha.
list because it goes all the way.
So it's by
until-
each city, okay, all right. I
Yes,
didn't know
it's
if-
every city, so it goes down until someone has the number 1 next to them. I don't include it all just because it's a lot. Metairie is definitely in there, though.
Okay, cool. All right. Is that everything for you?
That's everything from me.
Okay, we we going to talk about marketing, I guess?
So marketing committee actually did not meet in August.
But I put the agenda, because our last meeting did take place after the last board meeting.
Oh, that's right. Which one
So
is it?
Go your
And-
agendas. Go to reports folder, the one up there.
Oh, there it is. Okay, so let's see here. We did, one thing that Dara did work on at the end of July, at the beginning of this month, was a Retail Week promotional campaign. And we would like to formalize that on a more regular basis, to have Retail Week promotions on the J months of the year, just with feedback from our retail merchants that those are slower months. So January, June, and July. So we just basically reached out to all the businesses and asked for any things that they wanted us to advertise for, and just especially with like back to school shopping, as people are thinking about spending money with, kind of coming back into town this summer. We found that our campaigns didn't really perform Dara can kind of mention
They
this.
did not perform well. The only thing that performed well was the very first post going out, and I think that is just, it mentioned everything, and it also was very sentimental in terms of like why you should shop downtown.
Yeah.
Everything else garnered very, very low views.
Yeah.
What was the hook? I mean, what were you showing, like product, or, I mean?
Essentially different sales from different individuals. So every day was a different category. So day 1 was essentially like, this is what Retail Week is. This is why Retail Week matters. day 2 would have been like everything from boutiques in downtown. And then those different boutiques would have had sales or a new product that I was promoting for them. And then day 2 would be different categories such as spas and salons. And then the same thing. Do they have a new product or do they have a sale? A lot of people had discounts and whatnot, but it did not perform well on social media.
I mean, it definitely got engagement, and not that it was a complete
Engagement.
flop, but
Some of them did only get 10 likes or so. You know, so it hit or miss on what performed.
and we'll talk about this at the marketing committee meeting because they haven't met since we did that. But video always performs better, and I think for showcasing this type of thing, we'll want to have to work that in somehow. And really, like the storytelling piece, that's one reason why when we get a new business in, like we've been doing a video with them, we've been sharing a blog. And so trying to carve out a space specifically that supports our retail merchants, I think people resonate with the story and the connection of why to shop local, probably why that first posted so well. So I think as long as we're connecting with that heartstring component of that to support retail, that's something that just some feedback that we'll kind of talk about with the marketing committee with. We talked about the Big Boot podcast contract, which I've already discussed. We have an in-kind contract with Antoine Marketing. And so it actually began this month. It will run through September 1st of next year. So they are basically helping us do a couple of deliverables. They're helping us create some of our print collateral marketing, so brochures, rack cards. So we have a consistent design with the rebrand that we did. We only have so much of a skill set within our office and a bandwidth, so we're excited to see what they come up with implementing our new brand. In addition, they will be helping us actually do some of the creation on these destination marketing campaigns. So when we talk about Hammond's a train town, Hammond's a dining destination, like all these things that we have dreams about promoting, really, like I said, the bandwidth for us to do that as an organization will only be possible with the help of a professional marketing agency. So everything from, the ad spend on those, the creative on those, the production of them. Our marketing committee is basically going to be working with them on this is what we want the look and feel to be, and we'll basically provide the creative direction, but they will actually be helping us with the video, the filming, the photo, and those types of things. So very, very grateful to them in helping us do this.
What are we trading? What's the in-kind?
So basically, they have we are basically just sending our businesses an email that there's a reduced fee package for marketing services with Antoine. So they recently did this model with Fidelity Bank where Fidelity Bank is basically paying Antoine to offer marketing services to any new business that opens a bank with them. And so they will offer a discount. I see it all as a value add to everyone. I see it all as a value add to everyone. And from that meeting as well, we did talk a little bit about the farmers market, and a result from that was Abby Caswell, who owns Batter, and Terry Adams, BMX athlete, actually did 2 videos about their experience at the market, and they both performed really well, and was just part of spreading some positivity about the farmers market and showing it some love. So that was a good outcome from that group.
All right, John?
So.
We had 2 meetings, so I put both agendas in there.
Okay. Let me find my August. Okay. So basically, we've still been reviewing some applications for work, for projects. We had a homeowner who's trying to renovate a space into a multi-use building come speak with us. We kind of directed them a little more towards the city. That's the 306 East Church Street. We did talk a little more about the about landscaping and streetscaping and sidewalk plan, as well as Roy Dufresh brought a conceptual design for the Southwest Railroad Avenue pedestrian promenade, something to connect the welcome sign all the way to the farmer's market now, but eventually all the way to Southeastern. And he had some conceptual design drawings, and we discussed like, how do we move forward with this? We decided in the last meeting that we need to that needs to be a longer term goal, and how do we don't want to put any more work on the staff, but how do we discuss any of this? As far as the streetscape and landscaping and sidewalk improvements, we just decided that maybe needed to be handled on a block by block basis as things come up. But as far as the bigger idea, the committee is just concerned that things are being done haphazardly. There's not really a master landscape plan for downtown, so this is the promenade. So with the pavilion going up, the city was just gonna throw some lights, and that was not planned, and it didn't tie in with Railroad Park. So Roy, came up with this idea, and how do you safely get pedestrians from one end to the other? And if the farmer's market is moving, you still need to get people safely across through downtown. Plus, this would be really nice when you drive in, have a nice, kind of the look of Railroad Park, but all the way, from the welcome sign in. So the idea was, so we don't put more work on the staff as the design, and I think this is in some of the new business here, but the design committee wants to try to schedule a meeting with the city so that we're not sending Michelle and we're not putting more work on them. We, as business owners and designers, we felt like it might be a little more impactful if we go meet with the administration, with Charles and the mayor, and say, this is what we are recommending. We are volunteering our services because we're so passionate about that this needs to be done correctly. And just kind of see if they're open to even talking about any of that. We also talked about, we're going to ask the city if it would let the DED contract with an engineer, because we've got this money from Representative Mascarello, the $325,000 or $350,000 for drainage improvements, and it's just sitting there. Nothing's being done with it. So we thought if we went to the city and said, if we made a recommendation to the city, hey, why don't you let us handle it? The DDD will consult with this engineer and lead the charge so we can at least get it done. At least that's a step, and the money's not just sitting there not being used. And those drainage improvements would eventually tack on to this other work. So that needs to be done first anyway, and so we're thinking if we could maybe get the ball rolling.
They were surveying drainage the last 2 days.
Okay.
I was
Yeah,
very
yeah.
intrigued.
Well, maybe they're starting, it was all just sitting there.
Right. but
Right? So maybe they've started some of the work on it.
They were in front of, on my corners
Yeah.
on Monday.
Yeah, okay.
And I saw them yesterday a little bit further down the road. I don't know, they said they were doing drainage.
Yeah.
Well, that's part of the hiccup in all of this is really the best use of these funds is to try to incorporate them with what the city is doing, but also direct them in an area that we see of most need. And that's like what we have tried to do with Chuck Spengler already. But I mean,
It was his crew out there.
yeah. So, I mean, I think with that information, I think that a follow-up just to his office from us would be appropriate, just to say, hey, we're just checking in on what the drainage situation is looking like.
Yeah, we just want to make sure things are done intentionally and not just haphazardly. And I know some things in the past, they're right in front of my office, every time it drizzles, it's completely flooded. The drainage is terrible, and that's a new sidewalk, not new, but fairly new. So I think the committee just wants to make sure it's done properly so that we don't have these recurring issues. So that's basically what we talked about.
All right. Events, who's going to talk about that? Is it-
I will just give a quick, I think, maybe just a list of needs. I've texted a couple of you about a list of needs, but things are moving along well with Hot August planning. People are really excited about it. We finally got everyone's details in, so we'll be putting all those final pieces out together. Our ticket sales are coming in.
Also need to update.
I did up these.
You did, well.
Maybe the car show one,
show's
I didn't.
behind, but.
But these are mostly updated for today. So we're sitting at around 14, a little bit, well, over right now, 14,000 in revenue. So with keeping the wine and cheese on our plate, we are anticipating selling 500 tickets. We have enough businesses signed up to be able to do that. And we are planning to sell that many.
Did we sell last year?
We sold out last year.
But it was at 500?
It was actually 450, but they like turned people away.
Yeah.
We have, I think, 198 sold so far. We get a lot more sales between now and the actual, like the week of the event is whenever they really start coming through.
Steady coming in, though.
Yeah.
Every couple of days, we'll get like 2 or 3, or some people who will buy 3 at a time.
Yeah.
Stuff like that, so.
So I think all that's working in a good direction. We'll put the lineup out there with all the stops, and that usually drives up sales as well. And then we also boosted our Facebook and our Instagram post today. We did have, last year we went on Fox 8 Live. We did have a news station reach out. I don't know yet if it is an interview spot for sometime next week, but if we have any of those opportunities available, would like for someone to come with me to do that because we don't have an event chair this time around. But overall, okay. Well, I will let y'all know what happens with that. But
Hey, would it be advantageous or a problem to promote the wine walk at the farmer's market? Just to have something out there saying sign up here or something?
when I've been working it every Saturday, I have put the poster out there. So like,
You have?
yeah, I've been telling people about it.
Can you collect a payment there or whatever? Or not?
I have sold 2 tickets there, but
Okay.
yeah, we
I
can.
didn't know if you can do something actively or.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we let people know about it.
The little A-frame sign they have, if you
Yeah.
want, I could do a little design on it, print out a QR code.
Yeah.
Yeah, put the ticket link on there.
I mean, we can start on that once out of the office every day this week.
Yeah. So everything's shaping up. Only thing that we are really trying to get right now are volunteers because we don't have any signups, it looks like. The Kiwanis Club will be giving us several volunteers. The Mandy Milkshakers are who we usually work with to help us with our wine and cheese check-in. So those last minute confirmations are coming through, but we do have a schedule of shifts both Friday and Saturday. I understand that all of y'all will be very busy both of those days actually working the event, but if you have any high school students or college students, family members,
Sign up sheet?
so they can sign up on our website, and I have like they can't see this with the specific shifts, but basically when they sign up, they tell us what they can and can't work, and then we'll confirm that there. But we are in need of several volunteers for. I did Angie Drago. She's actually a Mandy Milkshaker, so she's my contact with them on that part. Yeah, I actually need to text her back. So. Okay.
You know, Pat Graves, the lender in town,
Yes.
he's always in everything. She's really involved in Hammond High's basketball team and all this kind of stuff. Maybe you can get with her,
Maybe.
see if she can get with the basketball team.
Yeah. I
Help
know.
them organize a awards event and all that. So she has those coaches and stuff. So
Yeah.
maybe, I'm just giving that an idea.
Yeah, there's an idea.
Yeah.
Yeah. So everything's moving along for Hot August. We will not have food trucks at the event. That was not approved by the administration. So it was actually our first time actually trying to go through the process to ask for permission for food trucks. Because the ordinance basically stipulates that every food truck has to be registered with the city. So in order for us to request to have food trucks, we needed to know that they are registered with the city. So anyway, I submitted that request to the city, to the administration on Monday, and we were denied for food trucks. But we had four food trucks sign up, one that was tentative, or 3.
3, 1 never responded.
Yeah. But we will have I mean, we offered them to participate in a booth space. So I think we just had one or two that are not participating at all. But we actually will have Southerns, the new chicken restaurant in town that's opening up. They wanted to bring out their food truck, but initially they weren't going to do a booth, but they will be out there. So that's going to be super
They can sell
exciting.
food in the booth, just not in the truck.
Right.
Okay.
Uh-huh. So,
Wait.
So with that being said, things are moving in a good direction. We're excited about it. Want all y'all to come out and enjoy it too. So just keep spreading the word. And I mean, we also have the road home kind of underway. But I'm not going to really go into any of that right now because Hot August is of the moment. So that's about it.
All right, I'm up next. The Gold Farmers Market.
Did we hire a Drea? She's done.
Yes.
We started.
Yes, she's official. Old business.
Her first day was August 1st, so she's been with us. And also, John, for the sake of the farmer's market, because half of the agenda is on our
Yes.
agenda, you can just.
I got it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that. Notable things other than the approval of the guideline revisions, which are in the agenda. We had one of the market girls, what's her name? I forget, come up and kind of give a presentation on recommendations for positive PR campaign. Yeah, that would be recommendations for us to handle social media and basically along the lines of connecting people with the farmers and giving their story, and kind of being ahead of the game for, if there's any
Scuttlebutt.
stuff in the future, that hopefully the reputation of the farmers market will be not even a problem to have to.
And just, so her name is Ashley Baradell. She's the owner of A&A Acres, and she did work for NOAA.com in social media sales. So she has a professional background in
Yes.
this.
A lot of ideas. New girl hopefully can maybe implement some of them, And then we talked about open nominations for community seats, and then the real main stuff is all these bylaws, which we'll talk about later. So I think that's pretty much it for that. So next up would be, is that you? Yeah. Merchant.
So we had our merchants committee meeting. A lot of the discussion revolved around the city ordinances that were going on. Obviously, one of those has been cleared up. We did also throw around some ideas of something to do in downtown to relate to the air show. Talked about a space to have something. I know Michelle mentioned like a airplane display or something. I think I threw out maybe doing the hot air balloon, like an attraction to be somewhere downtown. Really, the biggest thing is finding a space for something like that to take place. But there were no real definitive.
So what is it that you're doing? What, can I explain it to me real quick?
This was the fall promotions, the air show. We were trying to tie something in with downtown with the air show. So, just like.
Get
kind of
people-
Bring
a
attention
spot.
to it?
Yeah.
Or-
Bring attention to it, like a spot, I'll pick a photo op, or, just to draw attention to be in downtown, to lure people to come back down here.
Because the air show ends at like 6 o'clock on Saturday and Sunday. So after that, we want to capture people to come into downtown because they basically, our local people, I think that they stay, but like all the people that come in, we want,
Jump on the interstate and roll out.
yeah.
So we got what we want.
That's it.
That's about it. We spent a lot of time on the ordinances, so.
Okay. The residential committee, Todd?
Mine's going to be very brief because we did not have a meeting recently, and we opted out of having a meeting for several reasons. One of which is there's a lot of visual stimulation going around town where we see a lot of striping, and we've added some garbage can liners, and we also talked about at our previous meeting doing some things to bring attention to the neighborhoods or delineating the neighborhoods as what they are. The issue we found out with that is that we didn't have enough time, or no one had the time or resources to do that type of research. So we opted to skip until our next meeting. So we'll discuss some fall things at that meeting.
All right. Old business, notification of 2 open board seats. We got a largest assessed property and West Side property owner nomination.
I did reach out to STOA, and they did not have anyone who was interested.
Yeah, no, I really haven't even.
Yes, so to be honest, usually the board member recruitment does take some time for me personally to like go around and talk to everybody, and I just haven't had the time to really do it. But I think once we get past Hot August, you know, the week after Hot August, I can make some visits to our large assessed property owners. I did reach out to First Guaranty Bank. They are pretty consistent in wanting to nominate someone. I have not heard back yet. The West Side property owner needs to own a business, needs to be nominated by 5 business or property owners on the west side of the railroad tracks. So if there's someone specific that comes to mind for that seat.
Board member, I'm sorry, a committee member in one of the committees that we are sleeping on, because I thought about that yesterday. I know we threw around a couple of meetings when we talked, but.
Yeah, somebody that's already been committed that can kind of like,
If
yeah.
there's somebody that's
Yeah.
in the committee.
Yeah.
They have the interest, is there like a go-getter in one of the committees that we don't all get to see?
That owns a property or a business in the
All
district.
be Nominated by somebody on that, they just have to be nominated, right?
They have to own property or a business in the district. So I think of the committee members that I can think off the top of my head, the residential committee and the design committee have people who actually meet the eligibility criteria for that. So I don't know if Mary or Todd, if y'all have any, if that idea brings anyone to mind that would like to take the additional step to become a board member. But I think we haven't quite honestly done, like, we can do more advertising on it too, to kind of,
I think we also need to talk about it at each committee meeting, just.
yeah. We did let in the email that we sent in place of meeting, we did send it to the residential committee to let them know. The challenge that we have with securing board members is that it's a very small pool of people when you look at who is eligible to serve. So, and it's only a board of 7.
I wonder if Kinchin, because they bought, you know, the little baby place that they're leasing from me?
Oh, yeah.
Precious Prince. Yeah, either Emily or Ross, I can ask.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'll shoot a text to them
yeah.
and see if maybe they want to get
Yeah, I'll have
involved.
to think about mine, many people.
And it can be a resident, doesn't, like I said, they just have to own property, so they can be a resident within the district. Yeah, that's just something for us to keep in mind.
All right, new business.
Let's do a discussion to move board meeting to daytime hours first, because that motion was made before you got here, John.
I am all for moving the board meeting to daytime hours.
Pick a day,
Clearly I
time during the day. I'm fine with it, as long as it's after 9 a.m.
After 9, okay?
Or 9 or later.
9 or later.
Is there a
Yes, we're
day
getting the
of
kids
the
to
week that's
school.
good or bad for you?
Thursdays are never good for me because that's usually my day that I'm not here.
I can't do Mondays.
Whichever one y'all pick, I will approve or vote.
So no Monday?
Tuesday, Wednesday, or Friday.
Yeah.
God, I would love to do it Wednesday right after Historic Commission. That's just
Right
me being
after?
selfish. Yeah, that's just me being
What
selfish.
about before? So that's not till 11, right?
Yeah, it's not till 11. So yeah, before.
What if we did 9?
That'll be fabulous.
That goes back to the third, that would go back to the third Wednesday of the month at 9,
How often does it go commission?
monthly.
Yeah, same,
It's no longer in the unit.
the third Wednesday. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Keep it on
I
the
could,
second Wednesday?
No, we
No,
were
I'm
saying
it
that,
would- I'm just, that's on personal choice that I can get board meetings
do that.
blocked out and done.
well,
It's a great idea.
I'm fine, it doesn't matter to me, I mean,
So third,
I
I
could do
also-
9. I have a standing appointment every other Wednesday at 8:15 to 9. I could do 9:30.
That would give us an hour and a half.
Yeah.
I think,
as long as we.
I know that Kayla will more than likely not be able to meet this. I mean, I'm just,
Well,
she's not here, but
have you spoken to her if she can do daytime at all?
I think that it would require her to,
Request something?
I think she said she'd have to step out if she got calls or something, right? Or no?
I mean, I just think that it would be harder for her to do, but,
Then do we want to
Can-
figure out the times we definitely can't do?
Can we call her right now
Make
and
a doodle poll.
call her
you want
right
me to call
now?
her right now?
Yeah.
is it harder than right now?
Right.
Throw it out there, Captain Obvious.
So she can't vote, but technically I don't know if this
We
is
just need
allowed,
her-
but.
her-
No, we're just asking if she's available so we can vote. She can't vote.
She didn't answer.
It officially has to be a vote to actually move it, or is it just a discussion?
Well, I think I would like to know what y'all decide here. We have to check the availability of the council chambers at the time anyway. So we
I think
can,
9:30 is tentative and on third Wednesday, and if we can check with Kayla and if it works out.
There's always, I bet the chamber room is always available.
Yeah, if we can't meet here, we
Yeah,
can maybe.
here.
I'll have
Chamber
to,
board room is always available.
once we make a decision, I'll reach out to Lisa Cockerham, who deals with scheduling stuff for,
Now, the only problem, is there ever going to be where it will take longer than an hour and a half? Have we had stuff that's going on and on and on? Which,
I mean-
I like a good hard stop for an hour and a half to make us move forward, but
I think that we can make that work as long as it works.
yeah.
And then when it doesn't work, then,
okay, because I'd have to leave.
I think that's.
well, you'll just have to sit where you're sitting.
Yeah, you won't have to leave, you'll be.
We'll have to all leave.
Tuesdays are not good for anyone. I'm not, I'm
Depends
not
on-
out there.
No, I'm
Yeah.
looking. Would it be the third Tuesday? Wait, which Tuesday?
Y'all pick.
Personally, I would prefer the third week of the month because that basically gives us a week between committee meetings.
So that would be the third Tuesday. I cannot do, if it's, I just would have to do after 11:30 on Tuesdays, because I have I have a Zoom from 10:15 to 11:15 on Tuesdays.
So Wednesday, I mean,
I said if
is,
we did Tuesdays, if we did the third Tuesday, I just needed it to be after 11:30.
so is it possible to
First
have an
week.
8 AM meeting?
Well, he can't.
I got childcare.
Yeah. I was gonna say, with Ellis's stuff changing, I'll have to drop him off at school at 7:55 now.
Let's shoot for 9:30 on the third Wednesday. Can we shoot for that?
9:30
Is that
on the
fine?
third
Any
Wednesday.
of it's fine with me, whatever's best for y'all, I can make them work.
And you
Let's
think you're going to
try.
be
I can't
okay
do- I
with your
have
9? You'll be done with
I
your
have a
9?
meeting from 8:15 to 9 every other Wednesday, so 9:30 I'll be good.
Okay.
Yeah. I'll just come
So
here straight from there.
third Wednesday at 9:30 is tentative until we can talk to Kayla. I'll check with Lisa about city council chambers once we figure that out. If not, we'll get with Tangent.
Okay,
Okay,
all right.
And keep in mind, we started this meeting at 4:45. We're at an hour right now, right? So
well, we really didn't start, we started 10 minutes late.
Okay,
because of-
okay.
Yeah.
All right. Next up, recommendation from Design Committee.
Do I need to talk about this?
No, approval of,
Yep, so this is the grant facade for 120 East Thomas Street.
oh, Kayla's calling.
New awnings at the brew.
They basically replaced.
Hey, Kayla. That's okay. Oh, that's okay. I was just calling because we had on the agenda to discuss moving the meeting to daytime hours, and I want to see your response to 9:30, the third Wednesday of every month.
To 9:30 to 11.
We are.
We're not going to put our time stop on it, but I'm going to need to go.
Okay. Well, no rush right now. We can discuss it later. Okay. Okay, we're gonna email everyone, so, yeah. Okay, thanks. Okay, thanks, bye. We'll follow up with her.
Okay.
Sorry.
Okay, Facade Grant?
Okay, so this is the awning replacement, is it at the Brew?
Yes.
Yeah, which has a certificate of appropriateness from the historic.
So just to be clear, the recipient of the funds is not the owner of the business, it is the owner of the property.
Ryan Figueroa, Yikes LLC.
That's correct.
Make a motion to approve the facade grant for 120 East Commerce Street.
I'll second.
Sorry, y'all. John Exnicius,
Yes.
Mayor Gito,
Yes?
Todd DeLon,
Yes.
Chance Kinchin, Gail Morgan.
All right. What's up next? Discussion, recommendation to city for the DDD to hire and manage an engineer consultant for 350 grand. Drainage and street improvements.
That's what we were talking about in the design committee meet. So the design committee made a recommendation, well, would like the board to make a recommendation to the city for the DDD to hire and manage the engineering consultant for that $350,000
Gotcha.
project to
Okay.
design the drainage and street improvements. It was just, so the design committee would like the board to recommend to the city that we are allowed to handle that. Now, obviously, it may have already been started, but I still think we should,
Assuming that's what it was.
I think we should still make, we haven't been
Yeah.
made aware of that.
And then,
so I
you want
think we
to,
should-
and you want to just tie this into the also recommendation for the board to arrange a meeting with the mayor
Yes,
and
sure.
city administrator?
So the design committee also, yes, made the motion for a recommendation to the board to arrange a meeting with the mayor and city administrator regarding the design committee involvement in the downtown infrastructure planning. Again, we got all these experts, we just want to
Yeah, I
help.
mean, the only reason I know that is because I knew one of the people out there, and I
Yeah.
went to talk to him, and that's what he told me. And he was just a worker.
Well, I think we can make the motion, make the recommendation, I can always say no. but we
Yeah, I'll make the
still should
motion. And then,
recommendation.
as far as who's going to be meeting with the mayor, would that be the design
The
committee?
design committee would like to.
Okay.
I'll second it.
John Exnicius,
Yes.
Mayor Gito,
Yes?
Todd DeLon,
Yes.
Chance Kinchin,
Yes.
Gail Morgan.
Okay. Next is the bylaws for the farmer's market approval.
So I have a question. I read through these earlier, but did we did not have bylaws before? Is that
So
correct?
no, basically in July was our first meeting with trying to resolve the issues that we were dealing with. My response to that was we need some policies and procedures in place so that we all know what we're doing and can have the confidence in making decisions. So we did have bylaws in place, but they really did not go into the decision-making process. So
Is the highlighted items, is that what's being added?
no, this is a completely new document. What's actually highlighted here is what we added the last time that we met.
Okay.
So just ignore the highlights in this one, but this is an entirely new document. And the Article 7, decision-making revision process basically specifies that if a revision to the guidelines, if the committee would like to make a revision to the guidelines, then they first have to submit to the chair and the market manager where within the current guidelines they would like to see that revision. That is added onto the agenda as an introduction of a revision. And then there's a 30-day feedback period that opens between that introduction and the next meeting, which is where they would basically do the adoption of the revision. And nothing is set in stone until it is approved by the board of directors. So if we're making guideline revisions, and that's specific to that, if we're changing a rule about the functioning and the operation of the farmer's market, that really is ultimately under the jurisdiction of the board of directors. Now, that doesn't mean that anything anyone wants to change as a guideline is going to be entertained. So it would only come to you all as a recommended approval with my consultation, the manager's basically, I'm reviewing all these revisions. So, right, so it'll go through to the committee twice, the committee would review it twice, and before it's even reviewed by the committee, it would be vetted by me internally that this is something that it's a warranted item for us to be revising and discussing. So with all that being said, I'm gonna actually take this out. There's just some notes in here from
lost
the
everything.
last meeting,
What's
but,
that? Yeah, I mean, it was a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
so the committee,
Questioning.
basically, the committee, the vote that they made at the last meeting was to, with a recommendation to, for the board, a recommendation for the board of directors to approve these.
So I'll make a, okay.
One quick question. Was there any blowback from the farmer's market members? Are they all happy with this?
They want this. This is what they need. They know that they need it.
And one, all,
Make a motion to approve the bylaws for,
No, we're looking at C. We're talking about the bylaws.
How do I get back to this? I don't know. Where do I get the report?
Approve
Oh, I am.
the bylaws.
Oh, that's right. Okay, it's the top thing.
So do
Thank
we
you.
have to do them one at a time, or can we do them all together?
we need to take one agenda item at a time. So we would need a motion on the table to approve the bylaws.
As
I'll second.
John Exnicius,
Yes.
Mayor Gito,
Yes.
Todd DeLon,
Yes.
Chance Kinchen, Kayla Morgan.
All right, and then section D is the approval of the Hammond Farmers Market guideline revisions with the amendments.
Yeah, so while you look through this document, everything that is highlighted are the actual areas that are referenced on this agenda, just for transparency's sake. Like the adoption of the bylaws, this has been on 2 committee agendas, first an introduction, and then a feedback period, and then the last motion that they made at the last meeting was to recommend that the board of directors approve them. Something that I just want to bring to your attention is that the promotional items and branded merch a provision has been added, and there will be a review process to look at what items are appropriate for each type of business, but those products are able to be sold at the market, so as long as it's not the dominant thing and it doesn't basically make sense with their current products that they're offering, and it is produced in a standard of quality. A lot of these other revisions here were basically compiling a lot of the last meetings and challenges that the committee was dealing with, and basically just clarifying a lot of things in terms of process and the committee's role. So one thing that is added in here as a new section is a code of conduct for everyone, but does specifically apply to the vendors. There is a social media use policy listed in here to set certain expectations around what that looks like, and the role of the vendor and how they should represent the market. We also add in a market entities and roles section, which basically is copy and pasted from the guidelines that specifies the chain of command for the market, as it is a project underneath the umbrella of the Downtown Development District. The market manager's role, their schedule, and like I said, basically just kind of cleaning up some of the things that the committee was looking at in terms of product review and those types of things. So everyone, I think, is very happy with this and feels that basically moving forward, we get to do fun stuff. Okay?
I'd like to make a motion that we approve the Hammond Farmers and Artisans Market guideline revisions.
Second.
Sorry. John Exnicius,
Yes.
Mary Gito,
Yes.
Todd DeLon,
Yes.
Chance Kinchin,
Yes.
Caitlin Morgan.
Enthusiastically, yes.
All right, any announcements?
Hot August is next Saturday. Everyone
God, is it next?
get it together
Next Saturday.
Next Saturday.
next Saturday.
Hey, we're all
shaking our head like that.
We've been working on it.
Okay.
Bug-eyed and head
Okay.
shaking. Yes, so we will, I guess we'll be in touch about the September meeting, but tentatively, it will be on your schedule for the 17th at 9:30.
17th at 9:30.
Wednesday, the 17th at 9:30. Bye, Todd.
Meeting adjourned.
Thank you.
All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye. So
She's got checks for you to sign, John.
Oh,
What's
that
that?
was all.
Peace.